Welcome to Yoga with Cordelia, yogaing for health and well-being. Start kneeling at the back of the mat, left palm on top of the right palm, and just notice the breath coming in and out through the nostrils. Bow forward to child's pose. Forehead may or may not touch the mat. Take some slow, deep breaths here. Inhale, exhale. Inhale and exhale. Move the hands to the left side of the mat and shift your hips slightly to the right and feel the stretch along the right side of the body. Breathe slow, deep breaths here. Sending the breath to where you feel the stretch. Switch to the other side, hips go to the left and arms to the right, and 5 slow, deep breaths here. Inhale and exhale. Keep breathing. Navel into the spine and come into tabletop. Hands under the shoulders, fingers spread wide, knees under the hips. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the gaze. And then exhale, curling from the tailbone into a cat stretch. Exhale into cow, drop the belly, lift the gaze. Inhale into cat. One more with your breath. Inhale cow. Exhale cat. And back to neutral tabletop. Stretch the right leg behind, rock back and forth, stretching that calf, and then navel to spine and raise the right leg, ideally so the leg is parallel to the mat. Then you can also raise the left arm if you feel stable. Keep the navel in towards the spine and breathe. Exhale, come back down to tabletop. And then let's do 3 tricep dips, just to work those arms a bit. Then stretch the left leg back, give that calf a stretch, and then raise the left leg, and if you would like, raise the right arm. Imagine the arm reaching as far in front as possible and the leg as far back as possible. And breathe, keeping that navel into the spine, really working the core here, which supports the back. Come back to tabletop and 3 more tricep dips. We're not doing any chaturangas today. This is the only work our arms are going to get. Come all the way down to the belly, arms out in front, legs stretched behind. Raise the left arm and the right leg, and the right arm could be anywhere that's comfortable. I have mine just under my right shoulder. 3 more deep breaths here, working the back muscles. Inhale, exhale, release, swap sides. If it's too much to lift both the arm and the leg, then it's okay to just lift the leg. Remember to breathe. Inhale and exhale and release the pose. Arms beside you with the palms face down on the mat. Inhale, lift the head and shoulders, not the feet. Mine have lifted off just because the yoga mat was really hot. Exhale, bow. Inhale, lift the lower legs and maybe the thighs might come up off the mat. Hold for a breath cycle, then lower on the exhale. You now have options. Either repeat what we have just done, lifting the head and shoulders and then raising the legs separately, or you can come into full locust. On an inhale, you'll lift the head, shoulders, arms and legs. Remain for one breath cycle and then exhale down. And then we can repeat. Inhale, lift, toes spiraling in towards each other to protect the lower spine, and think forwards with the heart. On an exhale, come back down. Place the palms under the shoulders and inhale up into baby cobra. Head, shoulders and hands lift off. Exhale, bow. Inhale, baby cobra. Feet should stay on the mat. My mat was too hot. Exhale, bow. And once more, inhale, baby cobra, keeping the shoulders down away from the ears. Exhale, bow. Let's come into Sphinx. Arms parallel on the mat. The further the elbows are in towards the body, the more intense the back bend will be. If you feel a pinching in the lower back, move your elbows further in front of the body. Imagine your chest radiating to the front of the mat. This is a heart opener as well as a back bend that helps reduce lower back pain and improve flexibility. And breathe. Send the breath to the lower back. Inhale and exhale. We'll hold these stretches for longer to really give the muscles time to stretch fully. Carefully come back up to tabletop, keeping the belly into the spine to protect the back. Grab your props. We're coming into a restorative low lunge. Right leg forward, knee bent above the ankle. Check that the knee is not going beyond the foot. Left leg back as far as is comfortable and the left knee on the mat. By having the hands on blocks or cushions, it makes this pose restorative. We're stretching the left hip flexor here. Tight hip flexors are a cause of lower back pain, and spending time sitting at a desk or driving leads to tight hip flexors. We're here for 10 breaths. Focus on the sensations in the body. Focus on the breath coming in and out. Inhale and exhale. Keep breathing. Then carefully put your weight into the right heel and come back to tabletop and switch sides. Check your alignment. Left knee is above the left ankle, not going beyond the toes. Back knee is on the mat. Enjoy the stretch in the right hip flexor. Deep belly breaths, sending each breath to the front of the right hip. We're here for 10 breaths. Inhale and exhale. Move the props to one side, lift the back knee and rock the back foot up to meet the front. Ragdoll forward fold, feet as wide as the mat with a very generous bend in the knees to take the pressure off of the low back and to stretch the low back. Hands clasping the elbows, head is heavy. Deep breaths here. You can nod, shake the head, sway from side to side, whatever feels good. And just breathe deeply. The more bent the knees are, the less strain on the lower back. So find what feels good for you. Inhale and exhale. Keep breathing, deep breaths. Turn the toes out so the toes are splaying off the mat, and then lower into a yogic squat, malasana. The heels may be off the mat, that is absolutely okay, and if you like you can sit on a block or a bolster to make this more restorative. A good stretch for the lower back here. Deep belly breath, sending the breath to the low spine. Inhale and exhale. Keep breathing. Palms together at the heart center, elbows pushing into the knees to help keep the knees out. To come out, place your hands behind you to support yourself down onto the mat to protect your knees. Feet parallel, knees bent, reach forward on an inhale, then exhale, slowly lowering the body down to the mat. Bring one knee in, followed by the other, and then give your knees a hug, reclined child's pose, rock side to side, and if it feels nice, take a happy baby. Feet parallel to the sky, hands holding either the outer edges of the feet or peace fingers holding the big toes, and pull the knees down towards the armpits, trying to keep the tailbone flat on the mat. Remain in stillness or rock side to side and breathe and enjoy this stretch. Then release. We're preparing for supported bridge, so make sure your props are nearby. Lie flat on the back, knees bent, feet hip width apart and parallel. Make sure the lumbar spine is flush to the mat. Lift up the tailbone and then put either your blocks or your cushions underneath your sacral area. And then rest the sacrum down on top of whichever prop you're choosing to use. You have options here. Knees can stay bent, or if it feels nice, you can straighten your legs. Your body will let you know if that's right for you or not. It can also feel nice to stretch out the arms overhead. Whichever position you choose, 10 deep belly breaths here. Five more breaths. Then bend the knees, lift the tailbone and remove the props, and let's come into a laying spinal twist. Shift the hips slightly to the right and let the knees drop to the left, keeping the right shoulder grounded on the mat, arms out to the side and the head can turn to the right. It can be nice to put a bolster or cushion under the knees if they don't reach all the way to the floor. And then send deep breaths to the lumbar spine. This is so good for the lower back. Inhale. And exhale, bring your knees back up. Shift your hips over to the left. And then drop your knees to the right. Keeping the left shoulder grounded. 5 breaths here. Then bring the knees back up, centre yourself on the mat, soles of the feet together and let the knees drop out to the sides. Supta Baddha Konasana. Place one hand on the heart and one hand on the belly. Feel the belly rise and fall with each deep breath. A lovely restorative pose. Now let's come into Shavasana. Legs as wide as the mat, arms out to the side, palms up. It can feel really nice for the lower back if the knees are bent and the feet are as wide as the mat and you let the knees drop in together. Whichever position is most comfortable for you, focus on the breath here, coming in and going out through the nostrils. If your mind starts to wander, and it will, just bring it back to the breath. This is time for the body and mind to rest. Then bring some movement back into your fingers, rotate the hands, stretch up overhead, roll onto your side, and then bring yourself up into a comfortable seat of your choice. Raise the arms up overhead, gathering in all that healing energy. Hands down to heart centre, thanking yourself for taking the time to care for your body. Namaste. If you have enjoyed this class, please give it a thumbs up, leave a comment, and please click the subscribe button below.
Yoga with Cordelia is just so much fun, 'cause Cordelia does her yoga in the sun.